What's up everyone? Cole Schondeck here giving you a tech tip. I am changing the seat cover on a 2021 YZ250F and I wanted to show you guys how to get it done. So first off, you're going to need a seat to start with, a seat cover to put on, a flathead screwdriver and a set of pliers to pull the old staples out of the seat, a staple gun and staples to put the new seat cover on, and a set of scissors and a razor blade to cut off the excess material. Now, if you're lucky, you have that staple gun set up to an air compressor. If not, you can get it done with a hand stapler, but it's a lot harder. And so these Yamahas have this excess seat that covers the gas tank, and we have a little cover, a little gripper seat to go over that as well. But what I like to do is disconnect it right here and start with this, get it done out of the way. So, you're gonna take your mini seat cover, stretch it over your mini seat, and make sure you get these areas of extra material where they've sewn it together over the edges of your mini seat so it lays flat, nice and flat in there. And so what I mean by that is you get that edge of extra material over the edge of the mini seat. So then it'll lay nice and flat up top when it's all said and done. You do that on both sides and you get this thing pretty much completely on before you make your first starter staple. So once you have the cover on, you're going to want to do a starter staple in the front and the back, just to kind of give you a base, so then you can work all the way around the thing, stretching it tight everywhere, and get this thing totally stapled up before you cut the excess material and put it back on the bike. Then go to the front. Well, that's what I'm doing on this one. Really no right or wrong way, but go to the back, try and find the plastic, bam. Now you can work this thing around the whole way and make it nice and tight, cut off the excess, make it look like it was meant to be there. So now, got it nice and tight looking, got a bunch of staples in there where we can. There's not too much plastic to grab on this thing, but we got it nice and tight. Gonna cut off all this excess material and get it to fit right back onto the bike. So first, razor blade, take it. Gonna just work our way around, just around the edges, and then gonna do the final touches with the scissors and make this thing fit back onto the bike nice and smooth and not get hung up on anything. Okay, now the excess is trimmed up. I can access my holes to get back into the seat and connect it to the main seat. And this one's ready to go. Little seat's done. Somewhat of the hardest part because it doesn't have much plastic to grab, but it's done. Now it's onto the big seat. So first off with the big seat, I'm going to take out all these staples and then take off the stock seat cover. My personal bike, I left the stock seat cover on, but it was brand new. But this one's ripping, it's damaged, so it's ready to take this thing off. Now what you do is you remove all these staples with your flathead screwdriver, pull them out with your set of pliers, and then this whole seat cover will fall right off. And then we'll work on getting the new one on. So flathead will go up to each staple. Some will come out easier than others. That one came out with a finger. Peel them up, go underneath them, pry them up, and then you take your pliers and pull them up the rest of the way out. Now you want to try and make sure you don't break off the staples inside of the seat, because then it's a pain in the butt to get out. Because they will eventually, if you have little prongs in there, work their way into your butt when you're riding. Let me tell you, that don't feel good. So once all your staples are out, seat cover's off, you're ready to go to put the new seat cover on. Luckily, this seat cover wasn't ran very long with a rip, so there's only a tiny bit of water damage. So this thing's still good. But if you run it with a ripped seat cover for a long time and a lot of water gets in there, you'll completely ruin the foam, and that's when things get expensive. But let's go put this new seat cover on now. So now it's time to put the new seat cover on. As with the mini seat, we're gonna get these edges, the seams, all the way over the full seat, so they're hidden. On these Yamahas, there's a dish here up front, so I like to pull it all the way over the front, then line up the back. There's a little graphic symbol in the back to make sure you're straight. Line it all the way to the back, put your starter staples in the front, put a couple in the rear as well, and then you can start working around the edges. So we've got this working around the dish. lined up in the front. Do a couple starter staples. Basically just to line you up. Now we're going to pull tight all the way to the rear. Get a couple starter staples in there. This little graphic symbol is matched up correctly in the back, right where there's a point, middle there. Do a couple starter staples over there, and this will be what guides you along the rest of the way. Makes things easy. You want to pull it tight, but not too tight. Not where you're pulling on the foam and making it cause issues, mess up your foam or the seat cover. So once you got it all pulled tight, stapled in, all the way around, up here in the dish is pretty difficult actually. It's time to cut off all the excess material once again, and this thing will be ready to put back together with its mini seat cover, and it's ready to go. All said and done, this seat is ready to rip.